there's three of us in the bullpen, and all of a sudden,
So there was no names on for the bracket?
so he registered under the name Mark Elliott.
Oh, okay.
I believe Elliott's his middle name.
Okay.
So there's only three of us in the bullpen, and I'm thinking, so maybe this guy didn't show up. So we end up going to the mat, and all of a sudden, I see this guy in a gi walking over with an N95 mask and a hat on. This guy is like, either one, he's really afraid of like getting COVID, or he's really sick. And I'm like, man, maybe just like his final days, all he wants to do is jujitsu. I was like, oh, okay, cool, you know. So he ends up having to go to our mat, and I end up stepping up on the mat first. I won my fight by advantage. As I'm stepping off, all of a sudden, there's this huge crowd surrounding us.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I hear people whispering, "Oh, it's him! It's him! It's really him! It's Facebook, Meta." And I'm like, I'm gassed out after my first fight. The guy I fought, he was really strong, and this guy standing next to me said, "Man, they think that's Mark Zuckerberg." And I'm looking, I was like, the guy with the hat. And I'm looking at him, I was like, yeah, he does look like him. I was like, I thought Zuckerberg might be taller. Sure enough, it's him. And I got to go up against Zuckerberg in the finals. And all of a sudden, the whole gym is no longer looking at the 7 other fights that are happening. They're just focused on the main fight on mat number 8, which was what we were on. Ultimately, I ended up passing his guard. But as I'm passing, I'm like trying to get my arm back into my uniform.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Ended up passing. He ends up catching me again into his guard. But the problem is, it's not, his legs weren't wrapped around my back. It was like more around my hips. So I was on my feet still, and I ended up getting on my toes. And I'm on top of him, and I was like, oh, let me just try to hit him with an Ezekiel, so let me set it up. So I had put my left arm under his head, got the fingers in the sleeves. As I postured up, I'm just putting a lot of pressure right on his neck, on his throat, the jugular on the side of his neck. I think I could have been in that position for about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And his reaction was to try and choke me back. So he was trying to actually do a cross collar on me, which
When you had the skill.
yeah. And from what people have told me, and even I've read about it, it's like, and I accept it. It's like, it's from what I did was a total white belt move to try to hit an Ezekiel from inside someone's guard. But the thing was, if you see the video, I'm on my feet and I'm like literally on my toes. So all my weight is just driving right down into his neck. Yeah. I got him in that. And again, he's trying to do a cross call on me. Nothing there. And I was just so focused on applying the technique that I couldn't even hear anything honestly, I couldn't hear anything in the gym. Just in the zone, just really focused. Yeah.
Nice. But he kept the cross collar grip on you.
Yeah. He kept the cross collar. He was really trying to go for that cross collar choke. Yeah.
And he was just focused on his arm instead of trying to push you away with his legs.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of people told me. They're like, "Yeah, both of you, this was, a real white belt fight." A lot of people are like, "Oh, he could have pushed you away with his legs." I was like, "Yeah, that's true." It's like, yeah, he probably should have done that. Then my wife she took a pretty clear video, but it's from the same angle. The only issue is everything that's online, it doesn't see the angle of me applying the Ezekiel on him. That's what I got him with, and then the referee, he was right there, and he ended up stopping the fight because, Zuckerberg his face started turning purple, and he started making snoring like sounds. Not like literally, oh, he's snoring and going to sleep, but you know, just he was going out. And when my hand was raised, I was actually before prior to that, when the referee stopped the fight, we both got up and we were both confused. Like, why did the ref stop the fight? Because he never tapped. Yeah, I can honestly say he never tapped. And I'm thinking, it's like, man, did I do something illegal? And then referee raises my hand, and I still got this confused look on my face, like, really? Like, what happened? And then the referee huddles us up and says, oh, he had you in a choke, and you're gonna go out. He's like, I had to stop the fight. That fight happened in May, and then all of a sudden, like, I'm getting like these media outlets reaching out to me a month later. I'm like, why you want to talk to me a month later? And then I discovered why is because he started him and his team, they didn't let the fire die. They kept throwing gas on it. And then from what I was reading is they're disputing the referee's claims about the stoppage of the fight.
Really?
Yeah. So I mean, the ref stopped the fight because he was going out. And then when the referee did that interview, Zuckerberg's team, like, Al was never unconscious. Al was never snoring. So they made a big fuss about it again. And then that's when all of a sudden NPR and other outlets got a hold of me. I'm like, how are these people getting a hold of me? It's like a month later. Now you want to talk to me? He was just another white belt, just like me, that just wanted to compete. And I give him his props for that. I mean, you know it. I know it. He knows it. To step up on the mat to compete in an individual sport in front of tons of people is it's in my opinion it's difficult.